Welcome back to Fire Emblem Hector Hard Mode. We are in the snow. Reminder, snow slows you down, so while it's doing the little flurry thing, I'm not going to be able to move as far when outside. The difference between inside and outside should be pretty... It can be somewhat difficult to fathom, but basically anything inside the wall is inside, and anything outside the wall is outside. That sort of seems like a no-brainer, but it's kind of weird when your character will only move like 2 or 3 spaces, and then you stand like next to a doorway, and then all of a sudden he or she can move her full, you know, amount of spaces. So, anywho. For some reason, I know why. I know why the reason is. I had my mages apparently higher than I had my my warrior, hero, etc. And so in result, I ended up with this mission instead of the other one with the assassin. So, not a big deal. I like the other one better because I feel like there's more experience there. However, saying that, this is not a big deal. I just have to, unfortunately, lame it out a little bit here because this mission is set up to give you... what you have to do is you have to defeat, I think it's 3 or 4 classed up units, which would be the bishops, the heroes, that general that's standing next to Keats. There's also there's at least, well, I know there's at least 2 what do you call that again? Snipers. There we go. No, I forgot the word. But there are 2 snipers. That general I just killed. And because I'm not sure what the number is, I know it's more than 1. Basically what we're going to do is lame it out and make sure we do not kill any more classed up enemies. And by doing so, we will ensure that we get Heath instead of Carla, or Corel, however his name is pronounced. And blah 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 blah. So, otherwise I would just play this level normally and just sort of cruise, you know, send half my army up the center, send the other half of the army inside, clean up the guys on the inside. But again, like I said, it is based pretty much on the fact that I don't want another Myrmidon. I mean, sorry, Swordmaster. Because I've got Guy. Not that Guy is a particularly good Swordmaster, but I don't know. I want my Raven back. I can't use Raven in this playthrough, so I'm gonna pick the next best thing, which is Harkin. Also noticing, and I kind of knew this beforehand because I have a strong opinion about Jegans. I don't like using them. I feel like they're a waste of experience at the beginning of the game, and at the end of the game, they are generally not worth your time because if you took time to train up your Cavaliers, whether that be 1 Cavalier, 2 or more, you know, obviously this game has a maximum of 3 Cavaliers you can train into Paladins, whereas Fire Emblem 6 has 2, 4... 4? Is it 4 or is it 5? I think it's 4. I think there are 2 blue ones you get, and I know there's a green and a red one like there is in every game. So to get to the point of my thing, I took Sane, I looked at him, and then I compared him to Marcus, and I said to myself, why would I want to use Marcus? Now, Marcus is way, in terms of usability, I think Marcus is way better than Isadora. Isidora? Is that right? Whatever. It's something with an I. She's the last of the Cavaliers you can use. They did the right thing, but they did the worst thing they could have done with her. And you either needed to make her a really good pre-promote, i.e. really good stats, really good growths that fit the mold of, hey, I trained Saint, or I trained Kent, or I trained Oswin, or Lowen. And this is just an equivalent of it, but much lower constitution. Or conversely, give her the correct amount of constitution. Don't do this thing where all the paladins get to have, whatever, 8 constitution, 8-9 constitution, and she's sitting at 6. Come on, that's bullshit. Other than that, I don't mind Isidora. It's just that one killed me. It killed me when I'm actually like trying to mentally figure out how I'm gonna use her, because she's one of the classes I've never used before. She's a pre-promote. She's got excellent speed. She doubles shit, but she's got the big problem where you can only really use iron weapons with her, which not a problem, because I want to use iron weapons anyways, because most units have the constitution to wield iron weapons without taking a constitution penalty. But again, for her, it's just doesn't show, because she's at 6. She takes constitution penalties for everything that's not a slim weapon or a iron sword. I think the iron sword's at 6, so she's able to wield it without any issue. However, your axe, your lance, those are well over 6. So you're taking a penalty. I don't know how significant it is in comparison. So much so that if I were inclined, and I'm thinking about it right now, if I was inclined, I could give her the body ring, increase her constitution by 2, which would get her to 8, which would put her in the ballpark, but not quite where I need her to be, unfortunately. I don't know. I kind of wish, I've talked about this before, I kind of wish the constitutions were a little different, a little more fixed. I kind of realized what I said originally is bullshit, because your constitution also creates your weight. So if you're running a 20 constitution, and no one in Fire Emblem 6 is running 20 constitution, but say you're whatever. You got an extra point or 2 of constitution everywhere, okay? It also makes you heavier. Makes it more difficult to carry you. One of the characters that is the highest constitution in the game, who I hate because he sucks at everything else, is Dorcas. He apparently has 18 constitution. Which means he's basically able to wield whatever the fuck he wants, whenever he fucking wants to, with little to no penalty. But he lacks the ability to double, and I don't know if his strength is also questionable. I've not gotten him to 20 yet, so I don't know. Just thinking out loud. So the last level, this level, are not very difficult. If I had gotten the Assassin's level, I think it'd be a little more difficult than this. It's just a matter of getting... I want to get Heath instead of Carla. Carl is easier to get in this mission, whereas Heath is easier to get in the other mission, because this one, like I said, is based on number of promoted units you defeat. The other one is based on how many doors you open before 10 turns is up. Because of the snow, it becomes very, very difficult, short of having a team that it basically includes flyers and why am I blanking? Paladins to get to all the doors that you want to get to. Like if you're using just a thief to open doors, you ain't gonna get there. You're gonna have to have keys to doors, either from previous levels or bought them, in order to open up the number of doors that you need to open up to make sure that you get Corel over Heath in the alternate version of this level. Kind of looking ahead, the level after this is the level where you're protecting Zephadel, and I'm not looking forward to that because I've heard bad things about that level. And by bad things, I mean I've heard it is the most RNG of all missions, because you have to think about it this way. Unless I missed something, and I may have missed it, the easiest way to defeat that level is to have a warp staff. Or is it a warp staff, or is it there are two different staffs. There's a staff that you can basically grab the guy that's next to you and throw him however many spaces based. It's half of whatever their magic is plus 1. With a minimum of 5 usually is how the staves work. But getting back to my point, what I think it's called rescue, maybe. The rescue staff, it would be the staff that you'd want. So you would have your range would be half of whatever your magic is with a minimum of 5 range. And what you could do is you could get on the other side of Zephadel, where he's hiding in his bedroom, throne room, whatever you want to call that area he hides in. Grab him and pull him out of that area where he's more or less cornered on both sides by enemies. He's not, luckily does not move, except whenever he needs to heal. And what's the word I'm looking for? I don't remember what I'm... Oh yeah, you can pull him basically through the wall by teleporting him from the room he's standing in that's a dead end into the hallway, and then once you have him in the hallway, pick him up with one of your units. I would presume you would probably pick him up with a horse rider or a unit that's airborne. I actually don't know what his constitution is, so that would also depend on how heavy he is. I can't imagine he's all that heavy, but I don't know. I'm speculating right now. And to get to the point of what I'm saying is, once you have him in, let's say, Sane's, on the back of Sane's horse, or maybe Heath picks him up. You can basically fly wherever you want. I know what's her face probably has bolting, just like this guy has long range light magic spell there. But basically, as long as you stay out of the range of the one long range bolting spell that the boss has, what are they going to do? I'm sure there may be reinforcements that come through your, that area that you start in, your starting area. There's like a open area up there, I guess. And I think if you leave Merlinus hasn't classed up yet and isn't able to move around. I think reinforcements come in there, just a couple, enough to mess up Merlinus and basically make sure that he does not level up this mission. Yeah, Purge and Aura. I'm going to take Aura from you. Unfortunately, I'm not running any white mages in this run. So Aura is going to go into the proverbial garbage, or more specifically, I'm going to sell it off at the end of this episode or one of the future episodes. But what I was saying about, again, I keep distracting myself. What I was saying about, if you have the ability to rescue him, grab him from, say, 5 spaces, even with a wall in between, you can grab him from, pick him up, put him next to you, pick him up with a cavalier or whatever, run around, doesn't matter. You are safe. The rest of the mission does not matter. Now, there is a secondary portion to this that I think is important. You don't have to think is important if you're just trying to get through the game. You don't really care about anything else. But I basically want to keep Nino and Jafar alive. So, in addition to Zephadel not being allowed to die, which tends to happen because what happens is little guys, they'll be fighting Jafar, blah, 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 I'm fighting Jafar. And then Jafar will be like, I got damaged, I'm gonna go run away and heal myself. Well, when he runs away, there's no longer any green or blue units in the way for the red units to basically target down. So they're programmed to go towards Zephadel. Particularly, the most dangerous ones are usually, they could be pre-promotes, but usually what you do is you run into, usually he runs into, I remember, at least from playing Hector, Eliwood normal, Eliwood hard, and Hector normal, is typically what will happen is some variation of a war or axe user will come in under whatever, not a bandit, but like a regular axe unit. I can't remember what they're called right now off the top of my head. And he'll be able to survive because he's standing on top of a column that gives him extra evasion, maybe defense and attack, I don't remember. But what will end up happening is if you don't get there quick enough, and you don't get the correct RNG because Jafar is not dodging enough and he's taking damage, and now he's got to go retreat and heal, more than likely what's going to happen, and I saw this a couple times, if I'm not mistaken, it's been a while, in Eliwood's hard mode, is what will happen is eventually a mercenary will slip by past Jafar on the left side, and in doing that, Zephadel won't stand any chance against, because they will not only, with an axe, Zephadel's using a sword, he's at the weapon triangle advantage. Okay, so you're using weapon triangle advantage. Mercenaries are relatively fast. They're not as fast as Myrmidons, but they're very accurate and they're fast enough that they should double Zephadel. And when they do, particularly in the hard mode bonuses, Zephadel's dead in 1 round. So that's restart the mission from the beginning. Then you do it, and oh well, Far's doing a great job, but sorry, Nino died. You didn't get to her fast enough. Sorry. Or, oh, you didn't get to Jafar. Or, ooh, those 32% chances. They finally caught up to Jafar. And that axe user that probably should never have hit him. Let's just say he's scripted to hit him on what is it, at the end of turn 1. He's more or less scripted to do that. Because what will happen is the red units will finish off a random axe user will come up, not be able to attack him because he won't be in range of Jafar. Jafar will look with his big beautiful eyes and he'll go, "An axe user over there. I got a 70% chance of avoiding that." And because you're playing into the script, he's always playing the same moves over and over again. It's inevitable that he goes to attack him and he gets hit with a 34% chance. Because, again, you do the same chess moves every time. Your opponents are going to respond with the same fucking chess moves every time. So between my moves and his moves, he's always guaranteed to more or less... There he is. Intruders, question mark. I must get close to the Black Fang to avenge my liege, which is That man's father. Luckily, it started snowing, so he has slowed down. I have my guys just in the right position. Not that it matters. I could easily move them out of the way. To make sure that Heath will not be attacking anyone this turn. So, we're going to get everything I want in this mission by laming it out. Now, if I had not lamed it out, we would probably be close to defeating the boss at this point because, as I said before, I would have split my units. Some of the units would have gone through the main portion of the castle to the southeast. Other units would have obviously done what they did here, which is go up the center, take out, leave gites or geese here to kill off all the incoming Wyvern riders. And then, because Karel does not appear as a red unit, another reason why I don't want to use him, he appears as a green unit. All you have to do is have the correct person to recruit him, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is either Lynn, Guy, maybe your Lord. I'd have to look that up. I know he's very specific about who will let him recruit him, because again, he's a sword master, and as a sword master, he's looking for stronger opponents. He's doing the samurai thing, sword master thing, where I'm a wandering samurai. I don't have a lord currently, so I'm going to challenge all the most powerful sword masters in the universe to prove that I am the strongest of all. I'm going to mix my, I don't know, whatever your sword style is called. In Genshin, it's called Iten Mitsurugi style. And he gets challenged by a ton of fucking people, at least in the first season, because he's considered the Botosai the Manslayer, the strongest of the strong from the last era. And with swords now more or less illegal, and the samurai class more or less non-existent, apparently the only way people get their rocks off anymore. Do, 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 do. My brother sent me a video of they took his dog someplace for it's Holy Week, so they took the dog someplace, to, I guess, as like a little mini vacation, I guess. And my brother's dog's a bit of a scaredy cat. He's a bit greyhound, and very scared of other dogs. Never, I don't think the rescue, obviously, but I don't think they were ever really truly whatever they call it, socialized with other dogs. So she's afraid of every dog. She'll bark at other dogs. In some ways, she'll use her offense as her only defense to try to like, I'm gonna growl at you. Oh no, I gotta run away. Which probably not the best thing to do, I'm gonna guess, but what are you gonna do? So anyways, I guess my brother took the dog on this little mini excursion, and apparently found wherever they were staying, they had a dog there as well, and the dog's very docile, very, they talk about, how to handle a dog. This dog knew how to handle other dogs. It basically was like, I'm gonna lie down and show you my belly and be submissive, even though I probably don't need to do that. The Sarah's like, oh, I don't have to worry about you. You're being submissive to me, so I have no need to be scared or aggressive towards you because you're basically saying, I'm no threat to you. I'm not really sure how that works in terms of the, the whole alpha dog thing that you often hear both in human culture as well as actual dog, I'm gonna use a similar term, different animal species. Oh boy. I think Priscilla was lucky to escape there. The pecking order, birds have pecking orders, you have your alpha, whatever, and then it pecks someone, and then that one pecks another one. You have what they call a pecking order. That's how you determine who's dominant and who's not. There's a funny episode of Bob's Burgers about that regarding turkeys, but I love the fact that dog cartoons have really taken the concept of Thanksgiving and tried to give it some sort of due. I understand, we're in this society where we understand that us Europeans, we made everything terrible for everybody. Yeah, we made everything terrible because we're Europeans. We came from Europe. I'm not from Europe. I'm from America. I'm born third generation American now. Grandfather, father, and myself, all born in America. But to get to the point of what I'm trying to say, I don't know what I was going to say, actually, now. I was talking about Steven's dog, and now I don't know what I'm saying. I was talking about Bob's Burgers. So I really appreciate the Bob's Burgers and a lot of other cartoons. South Park. South Park obviously comes to mind, because that was probably one of the earliest that I remember. Funny adult cartoon, not kids cartoon, where it's like, let's be Rugrats, and we're going to celebrate Christmas and Hanukkah and Passover and Easter and every other fucking holiday under the sun. Because we want to be inclusive. That's fine. Okay, great. But Bob's Burger took the celebration of Thanksgiving and made it as important as Christmas. A lot of shows, particularly cartoon shows, American Dad being a great example of that, Family Guy to a lesser degree, have many, as in, maybe not one every season, but at least one every other season, or one every third season if it goes on long enough, Christmas episode. And sometimes you'll see multiple Halloween episodes as well, because, creators like to dabble with the, hey, what if we dressed up blah 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 as blah blah blah? And we could all have all kinds of funny shit, because why would Stan, the big strong man, dress up as the Cowardly Lion other than because it's funny? But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of Thanksgiving episodes. I don't know. I've said this before. I'll always be a proponent of holidays that make sense. Ooh, that was a big one. And by that I mean like, you don't need to fucking say, well, today's Banana Day. Let's all get the day off because it's Banana Day. Wacky. But if you were to say, hey, we want to celebrate President's Day and make that a national holiday where everybody gets off, not just some people or bank holidays or whatever, you know what I mean? And it's in February. It's been about a month and a half since you had a day off. Have Monday off. President's Day. Okay? Or, we don't need a day off every month, but you know what I mean? It as compared to some other places, feels like we have so few holidays. And of the holidays that we do have, so few of them are actually observed from coast to coast. I mean, like, you have your major holidays, the days that everybody except, you know, absolute essential workers, i.e., do you work in the hospital? Are you a police officer? You got to keep the peace. You know, you could probably run with a smaller crew, but you're gonna have to you still have to guard the peace. And I understand, you know, just because all the Christians are out there celebrating their Christmas doesn't mean all the Jews and the you know, people who are non-Christian is what I'm trying to sort of getting at. Aren't doing it, you know, so they're still living their normal life as if it wasn't a normal holiday. I get that. At least where I come from, there are like 2 days off that everybody gets off. Everybody gets Christmas off. Everybody gets Easter Day off. You work Sundays, you get Easter Day off. Christmas could be fall any day of the week. Doesn't matter, you get day off. And I want to let you know, if that ever changes, whoever made that decision that it's okay to work on Christmas when, you know, you're not living in a city that has multiple different ethnic, religious groups, you know, so the city never stops really breathing. But if Christmas ever becomes a holiday where people at Walmart that live in the South or who don't know, or North or West or wherever, that don't have a large contingency of non-Christian, even non-religious people. Oh, I gotta go out and shop today. I have to go out. I just have to go out. Go fuck yourself. Seriously, go fuck yourself. I get it. You live in New York City. It's a big, beautiful city. You know, lots of different people, lots of different backgrounds. You gotta be able to, you know, yeah, you're Jewish. The thing I always hear is, oh, I'm Jewish. Our traditions, we go get Chinese because that's one of the few places it's open. Fair. Okay? Fair. You know, because maybe, you know, I want to go to, I don't know, Jewish deli or wherever. I don't specifically know a thing that, you know, would be traditionally closed on a religious holiday that isn't, you know, say a Christian holiday. But to get to my point, at least in America, and you don't have to do it. Fine, I understand. Europeans ruined everything. We ruin everything. I understand. Great. But in terms of major holidays in the United States, there are four actually. I'm sorry. I always forget New Year's. There are 4 holidays: New Year's, Memorial Day, Labor Day, Thanksgiving. Those are your 4. Those are the 4 you get that are non-religious holidays. Okay. Easter falls on a Sunday every year, so you don't have to fucking worry about it unless you work retail or whatever, or you work Sundays. You don't have to fucking worry about it. Not a problem. It's not going to affect your schedule. Okay? You're essential worker. I'm sorry, you're out of this conversation. You can't just fucking leave the hospital or the retirement facility, you know, where people need your help, and just say, well, it's Christmas. Sorry, guys. If you die, you die. I'll be back on Monday. Yeah, right. But you're compensated, hopefully, for that as well. So that's my point. I mean, you want to villainize Thanksgiving, that's fine. You don't like the fact that Europeans, it was essentially, you want to talk about a holiday, is essentially the hallmark. The point by which you could point, say, you are celebrating a holiday where, from this point forward, we are slowly but surely going to eliminate an entire race of people. That's what Thanksgiving's about. It's all the stuff that happens before, during, after. You know, Thanksgiving, obviously special. I think it's special anyways. I like it. I like everything about Thanksgiving. I like the family, I like the food, I like the football, I like the fact that it's not, you know, you're not really, oh, I gotta go out and cut the grass. Oh, I gotta do this. I gotta shovel snow. Yeah, maybe you do have to shovel snow if it snows on a Thanksgiving. I don't know where you live. Can't say. Maybe you get snow every year on Thanksgiving. I got snow once on Thanksgiving. It was the weirdest fucking shit I've ever seen. I also got snow on Halloween once. That was weirder. But that's a tale for a different time. I should have timed this out perfectly. Nope, didn't do it. Sorry. Gonna waste one more turn here to seize the throne. I thought for a second I may have had Hector in the correct area to seize the throne this turn. It's fine. We'll just use Ninian, maybe, to send him directly to the throne. Do not collect. Oh, actually I have a couple guys left. Never mind. Gotta kill these guys. Sorry. Never mind. Alright, I will talk to you guys later. Next episode, like I said, is the one with Affadel. I will give you a clean cut of that, even though it'll probably take me multiple tries, so until then, I hope you guys have a good one.